lot of people calling this the most important election of their lifetimes. Do you agree with that, and why?
I agree. Yep. They say like our democracy or our republic's one generation away from being lost, And if we don't stand for this, the dike's open, man. The waters are flowing.
And what does electing Donald Trump, in regards to what you just said, how does that change things?
Very traditional with the old ways, Like it's the ideals of the common Constitution, The things that have worked in the past. We need to keep the wheels greased up,
It's that Constitution that has secretaries of state in Colorado and Maine keeping them off the ballot. But it's constitutional, and it's because of the 14th Amendment. How do you feel about that?
I don't know anything about the 14th Amendment much. I can't recall that one.
Okay. It just basically that for inciting insurrection, you can't stand for president, and that's what Colorado and Maine are saying, and they're keeping him off the ballot. The courts are saying, no, you can't do it that quickly. But what do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It's totally abuse of power.
Yeah.
Yep.
When discussing Donald Trump's battle to keep his name on the ballot in Colorado, supporters tend to decide how much we should adhere to the Constitution until they discover that a process to keep him off the ballot exists in that same perfect document. It's all about traditional America until those traditions don't align with Trump's aspirations. But there's still hope, though, because the Supreme Court will hear the case. So maybe Republicans will have the chance to calm down with the hyperbole and the misplaced anger.
Congressman, we were staying on the breaking news. Your take on the Supreme Court. They will hear the Trump team's appeal of the Colorado ban, trying to remove Trump from the state ballot. Your reaction to this breaking news?
Well, thank goodness. I mean, let's clear this once and for all. The Democrats are so afraid of the fact that President Trump is going to win this election. They will go to any means, including unconstitutional means, to remove him from the ballot, to sue him, to do anything that they can. And so this is important. And I know the Supreme Court, which I hope will decide unanimously that this is something that you can't do. This was not meant. What they did, what they're trying to do to President Trump is completely inappropriate. This was meant during a time of the Civil War when somebody was actually trying to overthrow the country. It doesn't apply to anything that happened with President Trump.
Only in MAGA logic can elected officials claim that something plainly stated in the Constitution is unconstitutional. I actually really don't even think Trump is going to be kept off the ballot in states like Maine and Colorado at the end of all this. But I am surprised by the panic and the frustration that's made its way through conservative circles all over it.
You think that when the Supreme Court takes this up, they are going to side with President Trump. Is that correct?
They are going to side against people being thrown off the ballot in this sort of manner. The brief that I will be filing with the United States Supreme Court is not going to say that President Trump was a bad person. It's not going to say that he's a good person. What it's going to say is that this extrajudicial means of removing people from the ballot is catastrophic to our country if it's allowed to continue. Because if Democrats can do it, that Republicans will do it. And if Republicans will do it, then Democrats will do it more.
Missouri's Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft decided to casually play the "if they do it, then we'll do it" card, like many Republicans do when rules and consequences show up. They do that in hopes of convincing people that there's zero grounds for it. But Ashcroft forgot to read Colorado's and his own state's constitution before making that politically motivated charge.
To that point, Secretary, in order to remove President Biden from the ballot, according to your state constitution, you would need to go to court. What do you think would be your strongest argument?
Not at all. Not at all.
Your state constitution actually states that the Secretary of State lacks authority to assess qualifications of a candidate to determine whether to place a candidate's name on a primary ballot. That's according to section 115.387 of your state constitution.
Sir, what I'm saying is, if the Supreme Court upholds the ruling out of Colorado, and
which went to court to disqualify Donald Trump from the ballot. So you, according to your state constitution, would need to go to court.
Sir.
CNN's Boris Sanchez was relentless in getting some of these concrete reasoning for Jay Ashcroft's flippant declaration that Republicans can and will remove candidates for no reason at all. He finally got the Secretary of State to cite some examples of what Joe Biden has done to violate the 14th Amendment, and it didn't go any better for him then either.
President Trump has never been adjudicated guilty
sure.
in a court of law.
What did Joe Biden do in your mind that equates insurrection? What allegations are you talking about?
I have seen allegations from the Lieutenant Governor of Texas that has said that Joe Biden has been part of insurrection or rebellion. We've seen the governor of Florida say the same thing.
Insurrection over what? What did the governor of Texas say that Joe Biden was causing an insurrection over? If you're going to make the claim, give me some specifics. Are you just going to cite the governor of Texas or Florida and not actually say what they are arguing? Do you know what they're arguing?
What I'm telling you is this. They made allegations, and all it took for former President Trump to be taken off the ballot in Colorado and in Maine were allegations.